Now, funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the Junkyard Dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah, she's gone again.
It's not warm when she's away.
Just headed for the airport. Get on the plane
no
soon.
Sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long.
Just a week. I mean, it's a week. It's too long.
She
It's a week.
goes away.
Kind of sucks, though. You know, I got her dog.
Wonder this time where she's gone.
Well, I know where she's going. She went to San Diego, but she has to go through Vegas.
If she's gone to stay.
No, she's not gone for stay. She's coming back in a week, okay? She's only gone for a week.
No sunshine when she's gone.
There ain't no sunshine.
And this house just ain't no home.
No, it's not. It's a dog kennel is what it is.
She goes away.
I hate it when she goes away. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I mean, she is gone. There's no doubt. Welcome to Hump Day in a Doghouse. The Junkyard Baby's gone. I'm riding shotgun by myself. Does that make any sense? No, I have her dog, Betty. I have her puppy, her 13-week-old puppy, Betty, and me. That's it. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Set up her bed here in the studio, put a little pad down for her, a little pee pad down for her, gave her some toys. She would shut up. Now she's back downstairs in her cage. That's it. Now she can go down there for the next 2.5, 3 hours. What can I do? I tried. Anyway, it is Hump Day in the Doghouse. And this will feature the second installment of Bubby's Diner's Quiz Grizz, where one listener will get a chance to compete against Grizz in sports trivia to win chow from Bubby's. I will pick a menu item that we would try and spell that word using sports trivia, and we did just have a Super Bowl, so we need to wrap it up with Super Bowl stuff. And I think it's easier Super Bowl stuff. We'll see. It's got to be better than next week. I'm certain that this will go better than last week. I'm positive that it'll go better than last week. Did Grizz win last week? Or did the listener win last week? The listener win last. Oh, so Grizz is 0-1. I should keep track of that. Let me mark that down. 0-1. He did beat me, though, and beat the big dog. So, you know, there's that. Seems to be a ton of coaching news today at all levels. I mean, from the NFL to Division III, probably in high school as well, if I looked for it. Both the Eagle coordinators got head coaching jobs now, coming off of the loss in the Super Bowl. Now, one game does not make a career, but no one in Philadelphia seems to be overly concerned that Shane Steichen is headed to Indianapolis, especially with Nick Sirianni there. He's an offensive head coach, so he could just run that thing himself if he needed to. And clearly, Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, was outcoached in the Super Bowl by Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, who didn't get a sniff. Now, Bieniemy now has 2 championships under his belt as the kind of offensive coordinator, if not play caller, of the Chiefs. But he continues to get passed over. He's actually interviewing for offensive coordinator jobs around the league with Andy Reid's endorsement. Think about that. He's been Andy Reid's offensive coordinator kind of for 8 years, and now he's interviewing for offensive coordinator jobs. Look, we have no idea how guys interview. We're not in the interview process. We don't know. And regardless of the race issue, if there is an issue, you got to crush the interview. You got to. Some say, well, if we had more black GMs, then they'll hire black coaches. I mean, really? Really? The GM is supposed to get the guy he feels is best for the job, period. Look, I think there are 7 now African-American GMs in the league. There's more black GMs than there are black coaches by far, twice as many. But they're hiring who they see fit, as are the white GMs. I mean, Ozzie Newsome years ago, Ozzie Newsome hired John Harbaugh in Baltimore when Ozzie Newsome was the first African-American GM. Who did he hire? John Harbaugh. You can't be any whiter than John Harbaugh. That worked out. And most recently, Ryan Poles, who is of mixed race, hired Matt Eberflus in Chicago. White guy. Nick Caserio, who is a white guy, Italian, but, he's a white guy. He hired D'Amico Ryans in Houston. So really, guys are hiring guys who they think can help them keep their job. Now, Ryans joins Todd Bowles and Mike Tomlin as the only black coaches in the league. At least that's what every website says. Go ahead and look it up. Black coaches in the NFL. And all you're going to see is Todd Bowles, Mike Tomlin, Lovie Smith, who's been replaced by D'Amico Ryans. But Mike McDaniel in Miami is 25% black. And the Dolphins got credit for the minority hire. And the 49ers got extra draft picks for developing him. He has a black grandfather. McDaniel didn't even know he was black. He was like a teenager that he had black blood in him. And the Commanders' Ron Rivera and the Jets' Robert Saleh are also listed as minority head coaches because of their Hispanic and Lebanese descent. Both are second-generation Americans, by the way. But look, 5 guys got hired, 4 were white, so it continues to be a huge story regardless of the process. And Eric Bieniemy's past legal issues are not helping him either. I don't know how he does in the interview, but he's got some baggage, You get a chance, I'll take a look at that. The Daytona 500 is this weekend, and yes, the return of the USFL. We'll get into that tomorrow with Tom Luganville. But look, my football friends, look.
Ain't no football now, it's gone.
It's gone too, just like my wife, gone. Not really gone, though, because we got the XFL this weekend. But we need to broaden our horizons a little bit now. We got to move on a little bit here. We need to look at some NASCAR and some baseball and college hoop, maybe some puck. We see a little diversity in the show here. We can't just talk about the same stuff over and over and over and over again. At least not here on this show. I can't do that show. I got to bring in a little diversity of sport. Jordan Bianchi, who covers motorsports for The Athletic, is coming up in a few minutes. It's Media Day in Daytona. Pole qualifying is tonight. The duels are tomorrow. The Great American Race is on Sunday. This is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. They're going to name the 75 greatest drivers ever, which is going to thin out after a little while, I think. It's the 25th anniversary since one of the, if not the greatest moment in NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt's win in 1998. I wonder if they're going to do like the 75 greatest moments in NASCAR history and how high. I'll be honest with you, just me personally, Bobby Allison and Davey Allison, I think it's 1988. The last 100 miles of the Daytona 500. Bobby Allison and Davey Allison, door handle to door handle, father and son. That was spectacular. But Earnhardt winning, 1998, that's 25 years ago. I remember that like it was yesterday. All right, phone lines are up. 256-576-4977. Right now, all we got is Jordan Bianchi. We got Quiz Grizz. Might do a little baseball with Josh Carey. We'll see. Apparently he's in like meetings or something, or they're doing CPR training or something down there. Phone lines are up. 256-576-4977. You can also text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. That's up throughout the 2 hours of the show. It's up all 24/7, really. And we read and react to those on the air. My personal Twitter is at Tom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show there. as well as on our Facebook page at 97.7 ESPN. The show is streaming live also on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube. If you miss any of it, it's archived there. It's archived on Facebook. You can check all of that out. Just go to 977ESPN.com, get links to all of that, and get our apps. You need to have the apps. You can listen to the shows there. You can get the pods. You can also get links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4, our alternate streaming channels, for more great programming. Now, tonight, huge game for the Tide. Maybe a huger game for the Vols in Thompson Bowling as number 1 Alabama takes out number 10 UT, who is reeling right now. And we may be out a few minutes early today. Because Huntsville High is in the regionals. And so we're going to have that coming up for you right after the show. Steve and Scott are on the scene to bring us that game as well. Buckhorn with an easy win in the sub-regional last night. We'll have them tomorrow afternoon as well against Coleman in the 6A regional. We'll find out where that'll be. That's a tough assignment right there. Game against Coleman, man, that's a tough assignment. So basically, all we have here for you is sports. I just to be honest with you. That's all we got is sports. We don't have anything but sports for you here on our radio station. That's why we are the Tennessee Valley's one and only sports talk radio station. I mean, other people, they don't know what they're doing. And they want to have talk. They want to have, I don't know, sports, a little bit of sports here, a little bit of. This is the Tennessee Valley's one and only sports station. We're not Birmingham sports station. We're not some talk station. We're just sports. That's our priority. If your priority is that, then you have found the right place. Over there in that little glass room, playing the platters of better and the stacks of wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air and been studying since about 3 o'clock this morning for today's episode of Quiz Grizz. It is Coach Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
You ready? You ready for this one, Grizz? You ready to get your record back to 500?
Oh, I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for Daytona. I appreciate you bringing up Bobby and Davey Allison because that was, growing up, that was two huge drivers in my life. My mom adored and loved, and then growing up, I really honestly didn't know too much about either of them because I was so young, and then when he died, I was really young. When Davey died, I was so young that it's still to this day, like I had one of the old like cars you had like the model cars you put together, like I had like shirts and everything like that as a kid. Like I wish I still had them.
Of who? Of Davey?
Of Davey.
Yeah. He was your first guy?
Yeah, it was my first guy. That was my first guy before anybody.
So you had the Texaco number 28 car
definitely
with the cool.
I remember it coming here.
Foil numbers on the side of it. Yeah,
I remember it coming here to Huntsville and sitting in it. Like and I miss it. Like that's kind of like where I first got my first hint of it.
We hit the Alabama gang. We don't have anybody from Alabama now. Well, Bubba Wallace was born in Mobile, but he grew up in Knoxville, I think.
I guess, and I was always a Rusty Wallace fan. That was always like the guy I pulled for. I always liked the Miller Lite car too. So I was a little kid loving the Miller Lite car.
That was a good-looking car.
Yeah.
Miller Lite car was a good look. The black and gold one was the good-looking one.
Yes.
That was the better-looking one than the blue and white one. Davey and Bobby, someday when you got 10, 15, 20 minutes, just go to the YouTube-age. I got it on a VHS tape. But go to YouTube and watch the last 100 miles of the 1988 Daytona 500 with Bobby Bobby's car was so beautiful. I mean, that 22 car was so beautiful. Now, he used to come on the show all the time. I've had Bobby on the show many, many times, so it's been a minute since I've had him on, and I'm not sure how he is now. I mean, because he's up there. But, I mean, it's so tragic. Bobby, they lost both their children, right? I mean, they lost Davey in a helicopter accident, and they lost their other son in a training accident, Clifford, in an accident on the track. I think he was in a practice.
Yeah,
deal.
Michigan.
Yeah, accident. So they lost both their sons. Then they divorced. It was so tough on the two of them, Bobby and his wife. They actually divorced after that, and then they got remarried. They got back together and got remarried. And of course, Bobby had that wreck at Talladega where he got up into the catch fence and he spun like on his nose, and it was brutal. I mean, I thought he was killed. You know, that wreck, if you look at Bobby Allison's wreck at Talladega, it looks like he got killed. I mean, it was just awful, awful wreck. All right? I think it's the same year. I think it's 88 or 80, somewhere around that same. It might be that later that same year after he won a Daytona 500. Then he gets in the accident, I think, at Pocono.
Yeah, the ending one.
The one that was his last race, was at Pocono, and it was like he got T-boned, but it looked like nothing.
Yeah,
it looked totally innocuous. And the dude couldn't talk for like 3 years. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really crazy. So it was tough. You know, when you talk to him, and as we have, he doesn't remember anything of that Daytona 500. It's so sad.
Oh, man,
he does not remember his Daytona 500 win against his son. What he remembers is seeing the video. He's seen it on video, but he doesn't have any first-person memory of it.
Dang.
Yeah,
that's
sad.
Really sad.
He cannot remember it. I think it all happened I think it all took place in 88. I don't know. I may be wrong about that, but it may have been. Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, you're right.
Was it all in 88?
Yeah.
It was all in 88.
Miller High Life 500 at Pocono.
So that was it. It was Pocono.
In 88.
All right. So Jordan Bianchi just texted me. He says he's doing an interview right now with Denny Hamlin at Media Day, and he's going to be hung up just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a break here. We'll come back. If you want to do some calls, go ahead and jump on the line. Right now, if you want to jump on the line, I've got a number of little things I want to get into. There's all kinds of college and pro coaching notes that are floating around here. So I want to kind of take a look at some of those things as well. There's some really interesting stuff going on out there. We'll come back with more right after this. It's the Tom Abraham Show on a hump day in a doghouse, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
As we flip that calendar into February, a lot of things happening. You got Valentine's Day, you got the Madness of March, and you've got tax season all around the corner. Thomas from Talent Heating and Air is in studio with us to remind us, Thomas, you don't want to forget about your heating and air system as well.
Yeah, that's right. During tax season is a great time to look at upgrading your system or making a repair maybe you've been putting off. We're going to help you out with that. We're going to do a $1,000 discount if you mention this ad and give you a little bit of an extra rebate this tax season.
And you also want to make sure it is tuned up and ready to go for that spring season.
Yeah, spring in Alabama can be 90-degree days, right? So we want you to be ready for that ahead of time, so you can give us a call, and we're going to do a $49 special for all the listeners of this.
All right, that phone number?
It is 256-503-4490.
It's Talent Heating and Air's $49 tune-up special. Give them a call today.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Looking for something different that's flexible, fulfilling, and pays well? How'd you like to get paid to work out? Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification.
There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. And once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you'll get a job. Trainers can make as much as $200 an hour. Yes, I said $200 an hour. And with ISSA, you can be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text bench to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online.
Pursue your passion in specializations like yoga, nutrition, or strength training. Live life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want. Start your own business, work at a gym, or make health and fitness your side hustle. Whatever works for you. Just don't wait.
Get started today and be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text bench to 323232 right now to get started for free. Text the word bench to 323232. Text bench to 323232.
Over 60 years ago, our founding father taught us the value of being dedicated to long-term customer satisfaction in every transaction we do, sales, parts, and service. Bobby White here for Woody Anderson Ford, thanking you for your loyalty for over 60 years, and we promise to keep working hard to earn your business every day. Just so happens that for 46 of those 60 years, our F-150 has been the best-selling truck in America. And now is a great time to drive one. We've got over 100 F-150s to choose from, and financing as low as 2.9% for up to 5 years on 2022 F-150s. With your good credit through Ford Motor Credit, offer ends February 28th. Or if a nearly new Ford fits you better, trade in and trade up to a Ford Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you'll take them home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Woody Anderson Ford celebrating over 60 years of service to Huntsville, and we look forward to serving you.
This is the only place for Drew DeArmond, Wes Neighbors, and of course, Thom Abraham.
I never met him, but I hear that he's a man of character.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Talk station, but we can turn into a music station, I think, right now. I'll give you a little more. Just give me a little more. I'm going to listen to it after the show. No, I can't. I got a tape. I'm recording all afternoon with the Bassmaster Radio. I need to. Man, it's going to be. Let me tell you something. I just started 3 sentences. If there is a week that the Junkyard Babe is going to be gone, Grizz. Yeah. Other than this mutt of hers, this beautiful, so cute, you would not believe how cute this dog is, this mutt. It is a Yorkshire Terrier, Yorkie, named Betty. 13 weeks old.
Betty Poopers. I've already have my nickname for her.
Betty Poop.
Betty Poop.
Yeah, Betty Poop. Always a Betty Boop fan. So we call her Betty Poop. And she has started pooping outside now, which is a good
puppers.
thing. But I didn't realize that we've had her now for 2 weeks, and the timing was terrible because my wife was going away. I didn't realize how much time my wife spent with the puppy.
Yes.
I mean, she's with the puppy, she's got a sling. Our puppy has a car seat. Okay? There's a car seat. Tennessee is one of 2 states in the country where you're not allowed to have a dog in the vehicle unless the dog is secured, like with a seatbelt on or a doggy car seat.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, you got to secure. You know what a dog? They have these dog collars that clip to the back of the headrest or something that to secure the dog. Well, you either have to have that or you have to have an actual car seat for the dog. I have a car seat for the dog. Okay, that's what we have, a doggy car seat. She loves her car seat.
I'm always afraid.
In the house, she climbs in there.
I'm always afraid the dog in the back of the truck. No harness, anything like that. But like Ladybird, my dog, she likes to go to cars every single day. She'll sit in the front seat like a person.
Yeah.
And I mean,
sitting in the front seat is cool, but you really should secure the dog. It's not It's very unsafe.
I do it with my arm, and
No. If you get in an accident, the dog dies. You need to put get one. All it is a little clip. It's like a leash, and it clips to the headrest. That's all you got to do.
In trouble right there.
Just a harness, and it clips to the headrest.
Yeah.
But anyway, this dog chews everything. I'm sitting here. I put her in the studio, and I thought, well, maybe she'll hang out in the studio, and she'll like that. I put a little pee pad down for her. I put her car seat in here. I put her blanket in here. She's in and out of the car seat. She's up and down off of my chair. She's chewing on my work. She's chewing on everything. She's got all these chew toys. She wants everything. She's knocking over stuff. I got prizes for Bassmaster Radio Fantasy Fishing. I've got prizes over there that I've got to put away and so on for the fantasy fishing. By the way, there's over 500 people who have signed up in the Beat Bassmaster Radio group for fantasy fishing. Just the show. The show's fantasy fishing contest has over 500 people signed up for it, Chris.
I need to get on that again.
Yeah. Should do fantasy. Well, today's the last day because tomorrow morning I got this tournament. But what I was going to say is if there's any day to, or any week for the Junkyard Dog to be, or Junkyard Babe to be gone.
Yeah.
This is the week. All right, because starting tomorrow morning, the Elite Series is at Okeechobee. So I'll have bass fishing on tomorrow morning and Friday morning, Saturday morning, recording on Sunday morning. I'm going to go to church. Tonight is qualifying for the poll for Daytona and the Alabama-Tennessee game. Right? So I don't have to worry about waiting till midnight to watch any of that stuff because she's not here. I'm not watching Flip My Garden with her on HGTV. Boom. Like 6 o'clock when they tip off, boom, I'm watching right away.
Sounds like a good show, Flip My Garden.
Yeah. Trick out my, bathroom or whatever those shows are. So I've got that. And then this weekend, there's the Daytona 500. There is the XFL. I might go fishing at some particular point in time. Oh, no, I got to do a baseball game. I got to do a double header on Saturday. I'm doing a double header of Charger baseball action. I'm excited about that. Can't wait to do that. The Bodine kid, by the way, who is a senior, redshirt senior out of Sparkman High School, he just broke the Gulf Coast Conference record for the longest hitting streak. He's got like a 43 or 44 game hitting streak, Grizz. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get broke.
Stuff.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff for me to do, that occupy me while she is gone. So there's that. And she'll be insane. And by the way, can I just say this about that? The weather in San Diego, you know how everybody talks about the weather in San Diego?
Yeah.
The weather in San Diego is worse. Oh, gosh. Stop giving me these notifications. The weather in San Diego is worse than the weather is here. I mean, they'll have some sunshine, but these while she's in San Diego, these are the highs: 59, 63, 64, 64, 62, 64, 61. She flies home 55 degrees. That's San Diego's weather. You know what the weather in Huntsville is during that same period of time? The weather in Huntsville during that same period of time, 67, 71, 52, 52 with sunshine, 60, 62, 71, 67. Our weather is better than San Diego weather. Now, it's going to rain probably 4 out of those 7 days. But still,
Some storms, too, I heard. I think.
Well, tomorrow night. That's why the baseball game for Friday has been postponed, and I think the softball as well postponed down at Charger Park. So Thursday, 90% chance of rain after it's 71 degrees during the day. But, it's 66 now. Anyway, that's what's going on there. Text window is alive. For those of you that don't want to call the show, the text window is alive at 732-982-7469. Let's see what's going on there. Unknown texter. Who in the world listens to the Chuck Oliver show this time of year? Spring training has started. At least one of those 2 hours, do baseball, a show, or podcast, something. Unsigned. That's what you got me for. Look, a lot of people, they want to listen to Chuck talk about football 24/7, 365. Okay, and I'm okay with that. 2 hours of Chuck, and then before me, and then after me, it's that they're Paul Feinbaum. What do you think he's talking about? Mostly college football. So we're getting a lot of college football. So it's up to me to bring you a little baseball, a little NASCAR, a little other stuff.
I think the difference with Chuck, though, is at least he can give you outside of what we normally talk about. He can give you the ACC. He can give you stuff around here. He can give you Georgia. He can give you the other perspective, which I understand. Hear me out. But it's still, if you're a sports nut, you should listen. At least to like other perspectives.
Yeah.
So, Alabama this, Auburn that.
Yeah. I think that's even. I think if anybody's going to listen to college football talk 24/7, 365, that it might as well be SEC. Not really. Nobody could, around here, if you're going to do it at that particular point in time. Kramer says Bills should shake up their coaching staff a bit. Leslie Frazier has been great, but not clutch. Maybe Ken Dorsey gets a pass to year 2. Maybe they could. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. I think Sean McDermott is on the clock right now. I think he needs to start doing something. And by the way, let me just say this about that. Have you seen Todd McShay's mock draft? I mean, where we're going to talk mock drafts, right? But have you seen Todd McShay's mock draft? He's got Jahmyr Gibbs to the Bills. Let me tell you something. The Buffalo Bills get Jahmyr Gibbs, that would be huge for them. That would be huge for the Buffalo Bills. They need that stud running back. I mean, they got nice, okay running backs. They need that stud.
I know they traded for Little Cook, so they do have.
He's okay. He's nice. He's depth and everything like that, but they need a stud. They need a stud running back. Well, we'll see, if they can get that done. All right. Text window. Just going to read the text. Just react to those. LSU Lynch says, why not kind of throw out there the drama that will happen at the Masters this year with the fans? LIV Golf returning. I don't call it Live Golf. It's LIV Golf. Hashtag I want Phillip going at DJ. Oh, not our Phillip. That would be Phil Mickelson. Going at DJ and played Puppy Love yet? For Betty? No, Grizz is not playing Puppy Love.
For you,
Oh, God.
I should have had that ready.
Golf is definitely a major topic for us. Certainly, the closer we get to the Masters, golf will be a big-time topic for us. There's no doubt about it. We love golf. The 54 Tour, let's just call it the 54 Tour, that Live Golf thing. You realize the reason it's LIV Golf It's because they play 54 holes. Okay, that's why it is LIV Golf. All right, that's why it's Live Golf. They play 54 holes. 54 holes is for seniors. Not even the LPGA anymore plays 54 holes. The LPGA used to do 54-hole tournaments. Not even they do that anymore. They do full-blown, I mean, it's no. 54. Live Golf is a joke. It's a joke. Golf was built on 72 holes. Golf is built on no money if you don't make the cut. Golf is built on that pressure. Not going out there playing a 54-hole thing with a guaranteed chunk of dough where you don't have to really compete. Those are exhibitions. LIV Golf is nothing but exhibitions. And yes, I am glad that everybody will be playing in the Masters and the PGA Tour, not the PGA, but the U.S. Open, probably the British Open. I'm happy that it'll be that way, that we'll see all the best golfers. But I have no sympathy at all for 54 golf. Shouldn't call that 54 golf. Grumpy says this weekend, Huntsville High has 11 wrestlers in the 14 weight classes in the state championships this weekend at the VBC. Championship matches start at 1 p.m. on Saturday, is what he says. And Huntsville High has an outstanding opportunity to win a state championship in wrestling. Grizz will be there covering it or watching it.
You'll have Scott as he'll be the announcer for the whole thing.
Scott will be doing that. Yeah. He wants to know Grumpy wants to know what the crowd noise is on the stream. Seems like gravity is the number one killer of superstars. Not a puppy. You have 10 kids. The crowd noise, I hope it's gone, right? I mean, they
I
have
listened.
That gone?
It sounded like it was gone.
Is it gone now?
Yeah.
All right. So Moulton and Tyson, they're down are they at Wallace State? Who's Huntsville playing this afternoon?
I haven't looked. I apologize.
All right. So Moulton they're doing the game right after the show. So he was testing some stuff. He claims that it's not on now, that we're okay now. So hopefully that's correct. The Chubby Ninja says the
Oak
man
Mountain.
card. Huh?
They're playing Oak Mountain.
Oak Mountain. The Chubby Ninja says the man card is at serious risk over this Betty poop. I'm a married man, completely understand. It's not my dog. Don't rip my card. It's not my dog. I'm threatening her to get a dog, get another English bulldog, or to get a boxer, or to get a shepherd, or to get a retriever. A dog. You know what I mean? A real dog that takes craps bigger than this Betty Boop dog that she's got. It's not my dog, Chubby Ninja. I have to watch it this week. I'm going to have my granddaughters love the dog. I'm going to have them watch it at some particular point in time. It's not my dog. Two things. How to get to the Bass Fantasy League, and also what about maybe one time a week having one bass fisherman on the show? I like that. Unsigned. Maybe I should do that. I mean, this is the season. We're into the spring season. This is the time to get out there. Maybe I'll give you a little taste. Give you a little taste of the pros. All right, to get into the fantasy fishing, it's very simple. First of all, on my personal Facebook page, all right, Tom, just look me up on the Facebook. I posted the link there. I'll post the link again to the Twitter page. But the easiest way to do it is just go to Bassmaster.com, click on Fantasy. Go to Bassmaster.com, click on Fantasy. When you get to Fantasy, go to Group Directory and just go down to Beat Bassmaster Radio. Oh my God, I just added 50 more players. I've got 546 players, Grizz, for fantasy fishing. And it's very easy. They have 5 buckets, and each bucket has like 20 anglers in there, and you pick one angler from each of the 5 buckets, and that's your fantasy team. And you get their total weight. It's that easy. You get their whatever position they finish in is what you get, is their position. And each week that there's a tournament, there are 10 tournaments. Each week that there is a tournament, we are giving away a prize package from my sponsors. I've got some Phoenix stuff in there, like a buff and a hat from Phoenix, 13 fishing hat in there, a really cool roll-up fishing bag from Green Pond Landing in South Carolina, which is one of my sponsors. I've got a lure in there, a bait in there from a shad wrap in there from Rapala. And I got a package of missile baits, baby chunks, D-chunk. No, the D-chunk, Chunky D. I'm going to give you a package of Chunky Ds. So it's a prize package that's worth, I don't know, $100 every single tournament from our sponsors on Bassmaster Radio. So we got that as well. Let me know if you're having a problem with it. Hey, hang on. I'm going to actually, whoever that was that texted me that, I'm going to send you the actual link on that deal.
I don't know. Yeah, I was listening on the app earlier. I didn't hear it. I wasn't hearing it, so.
You're talking about the noise?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what channel some of them listen on too.
Yeah.
If you're listening on Zone 2 for some reason, because during my show is basically on all of the zones.
Yeah.
It's on Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4. And then if we have games, it gets split up a little bit. Atlanta versus the Bills. But he does remember his first Super Bowl in Pasadena and his third Super Bowl in Tempe. Yeah, it's really sad. It's sad to talk to Bobby and have him tell us that he has no finish or no recollection of finishing first and second with his son. And that duel over the last 100 miles is as good. Now I'm going to watch it on YouTube. I'm going to watch it tonight on YouTube after qualifying and after the Alabama-Tennessee game. I'm going to watch it on YouTube tonight. It must be out there, right? It must be on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I can pick it up right now and put it on the stream.
Yeah. Well, no, we wouldn't put it on the stream.
You could just play in the background while you're talking,
Let's get the break. When we come back, we'll see. Jordan Bianchi, we're searching. This might be a guest-free show. We may have nobody but the listeners and you and me, Grace. All right, we'll get a break.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll come back with more. Phone lines are wide open. 256-576-4977. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Who knows comfort? Well, comfort is our middle name. If your home isn't as comfortable as you want it to be, we can fix that. We service all makes and brands of heating and cooling systems, even if we didn't install them. So give us a call. Environmental Comfort Systems. Visit our website at envcomfort.com. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems. That's envcomfort.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship Jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. With beautiful Lake Gunnersville views throughout the round, Gunner's Landing is golf the way nature intended. Gunner's Landing's Club Repair Shop offers a full range of services, including re-gripping and adjusting the lofts and lies of your clubs, even putters. Since the work is done in-house, your clubs will be returned to you in a timely manner. Unmatched in the North Alabama area, it is Gunner's Landing. Schedule your tee time today at gunnerslandinggolf.com. That's gunnerslandinggolf.com. The college basketball regular season is winding down, and the football specials at Humphrey's Bar and Grill are now going to extend into basketball season with football specials during every Auburn and Alabama basketball games. Don't miss Humphrey's game day specials from $2.75 Miller Lite, Yingling, Coors Light pints, $3.50 Yellowhammer Gold pints. Anytime Auburn or Alabama is on the screen, Humphrey's, always a party, never a cover. Located online at humphreysdowntown.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. From the gorgeous long views of the lake from the Bluff Side rooms to dinner at the Pinecrest room, Guntersville State Park needs to be on your bucket list this year. What an ideal place for a family staycation or a romantic getaway. Guntersville State Park has it all. This is a great time to book your visit, and depending on the time of year, you might want to bring the clubs and take in a round at Eagle's Nest. Make plans today to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. If it didn't exist, you'd have to invent it. Guntersville State Park.
At Bryant Bank, we recognize your time is valuable, and easy, secure access to your finances is essential. That's why we provide the financial tools you need to manage your money on the go and make life a bit easier. At Bryant Bank, we're here to help with instant debit cards, Apple Pay, person-to-person payments, and more. Bryant bankers want to show you how beneficial our digital banking services can be. Learn more at bryantbank.com. Bryant Bank. Live legendary. Member FDIC.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
I want to thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
On a prison farm in Georgia, close to the Florida line. Well, I've been here for 2 long years. I finally made the warden my friend. And so he sentenced me to a life of ease, taking care of old Red.
Now, here's the thing.
Now, old Red, he's the damnedest.
Old Red. It's a great song, by the way. That is a great song. It's a good job by you, Grizz. That's a great song. But here's the thing. You know what Old Red is? You know what Old Red is? What kind of breed Old Red is?
Blue tick hound?
Is a blue tick hound.
Yeah.
You know what a blue tick hound is, don't you? I mean, that's it.
Hunting dog.
No. I mean, yes, but you know what a blue tick hound is, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Vol.
That's it. That's a Smokey.
That's that Smokey dog.
I can't have a blue tick
trust
hound.
me.
I'm sorry.
No, when I went
Do you
to
know how many people in Tennessee have blue tick hounds? All these people got these blue tick hounds.
Yeah.
I ain't having no Smokey. I'm not having no blue tick hound up here.
Last time
I'll have a bulldog.
Yeah.
The logo, you know, the logo of the show, by the way. That bulldog is that was my dog. All right, for 10 years I had that was Bocephus. It was his actual name was Sir Butch's Bocephus. That was an AKC registered English bulldog, which I called Bo, and it was during the height of the Bo nose stuff.
Yeah,
and I had no problem with it because it was I was a big Bocephus fan. I was a good big Hank Williams Jr. fan, for those who don't know who Bocephus is. I was a big Hank Williams Jr. fan. So I got the dog, and I named it Sir Butch's Bocephus because it had to have a name. Its sire was Sir Butch's something. So it had to have, like when you have an AKC registered dog, English Bulldog, which has papers from England and all that stuff, it has to have the name of its sire in its name. So I named it Sir Butch's, not bitches, Butch's. Sir Butch's. Did I say Sir Butch's? Sir Butch's.
Yeah.
Butch's. It was Sir Butch's Bocephus. And I called her Bo.
Yeah.
Him.
I've talked about this before. We had an English Bulldog in the family, 12 years, from the Ugga line. Yeah, from the Ugga line. His name was Bosley.
From the Ugga line?
Yeah, from the Ugga line. Yeah.
Oh.
Name was Bosley. People always thought that we named him after Jason Bosley, who played for Auburn and went to Grissom and everything like that. But no, had no tie to that at all.
You named him after Bosley from the Charlie's Angels.
Yes. Yeah. That's probably what it was. I think that's what my dad actually named him after.
Yeah. Bosley.
He was a giant turd. I miss him. I mean, that was one of the dogs.
Dad? Oh, the dog.
No, the dog.
I was sure you were talking about that.
Yeah, no, the dog could skateboard, man. He could mow the lawn and stuff. It was cool.
So Bo, and I had his dog dish. It said, "So Bo knows food," on his dog dish, and
they do.
That dog was great, but that dog would fart. I mean, and just clear a room. That dog, and it would be bad. Bulldogs. It would be like I'd be laying on the couch, and the dog would be passing gas. And he and I would have like battles. We'd like kind of fight it out between us. He'd pass gas, so I'd pass gas. Then he'd pass a little more gas, then I'd pass some more gas. Like, I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, you can't outpass gas of a bulldog, man. The bulldogs, man, they don't care.
I'm going to find a picture. I'm going to find a picture and put it up. I got pictures of Bo.
Oh, I've got so many of Bosley.
It's been 25, 30 years, but I got pictures of Bo. So Bo then became the mascot of the first place I coached at and where my kids went to school was Livonia High School, and they were the Livonia Bulldogs. Okay, so Bo became the mascot of the Livonia Bulldogs, the live mascot. And so one night we take him to a basketball game, huge crowd. The Livonia Bulldogs are playing. You know, we get this, big old crowd, and there's a timeout on the floor. And we're sitting in the front row because, Bo would be there and everybody would come over. They'd take pictures with Bo and they'd want to. So anyway, we had Bo and we're sitting in the front row and there's a timeout on the floor. And Bo just kind of, during the timeout, probably 1,500 people in the gym, Bo waddles out to the three-point line.
Oh, my apologies.
Just drops a deuce.
Yes.
Just drops a deuce right at the three-point line.
Love it.
A bulldog deuce. I'm talking about this isn't something you pick up with a paper towel now.
No.
You're going to need a shovel, okay? You need a flat-handled shovel to pick that thing up.
That's the one thing about my dog, man. She's got this weird bulldog body, and it's the difference in poops that scare me, man. I'm like, are you a giant dog, or are you
okay?
Are you a small dog?
Does she look over her shoulder at you while she just kind of,
Well, I'll tell you right now, that's the best feeling about a dog. They love you so unconditionally that when you go to the bathroom, you cannot close the door. They will sit right there in front of you. They'll lay on your feet because you're most vulnerable right there, and they're protecting you. But when they're doing it, you're like awkward and like staring at them, and they give you the most awkward look ever when they're going at it, and you're just trying to pick it up and throw it away.
What a piece of crap first hour of the show we just had. Do I have another break?
No.
Should I take it? I'm good right till the top?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We've taken all of our breaks?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, gosh. What am I doing?
No,
what
am
I, a radio guy now?
You got another minute. You're fine.
All right. We're gonna be joined at the top of the hour by Jordan Bianchi. We're going to Daytona at the top of the hour, and we'll be joined at the top of the hour by him. I also have a episode of Quiz Grizz coming up in hour number 2 of the radio show. Plus, I do have some other. I got to give you the Mike Bobo reaction, the fans' reaction in Georgia to Mike Bobo being named the once again offensive coordinator of the Dogs. We'll have to take a listen to that and see how the fans
My apologies.
That might sum it up.
Absolutely,
that might
great.
kind of sum up how the fans feel about Mike Bobo taking over. But I want to give you some of that. And Grizz, let me just say this one. I want to throw this one out there. Andy McCullum. Does the name just even ring a little bit of a... Wait a minute, Andy McCullum. Yeah, Andy McCullum was an assistant coach at Georgia Tech for like 8 years, okay? Andy McCullum was the head football coach of MTSU, took them from FCS to FBS back in the late 90s into the 2000s. That Andy McCullum?
Yeah.
Andy McCullum, who was on the staff at U of B at University of Buffalo most recently... Andy McCullum is the new head football coach at Swanee, Division III Swanee. Andy McCullum. I mean, I'm like, Andy McCullum, the head football coach at Swanee, which has won like one game in 3 years in Division III. I mean, what a. I mean, that's a good pull for Swanee. I'm very interested to see how he's older than me. He's 63 years old. And he's the head coach now at Swanee. How about that? I may need to go back to 10 to noon and start coaching again. All right, we'll be back. Jordan Miyake's next from Daytona, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. From the gorgeous long views of the lake from the Bluff Side rooms to dinner at the Pinecrest room, Guntersville State Park needs to be on your bucket list this year. What an ideal place for a family staycation or a romantic getaway. Guntersville State Park has it all. This is a great time to book your visit, and depending on the time of year, you might want to bring the clubs and take in a round at Eagle's Nest. Make plans today to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. If it didn't exist, you'd have to invent it. Guntersville State Park.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Lakers could get LeBron James back tonight against the Pelicans, 10 Eastern on ESPN TV. James listed as questionable for LA's final game before the All-Star break. Lakers have dropped 2 of the 3 games he has missed with a sore ankle. They're currently 13th in the West, 2.5 games out of the final play-in spot. NHL Capitals star Alex Ovechkin announced today in an Instagram post his father has died. He'll be away from the team for the rest of the week. No further details provided yet when he might return to the team. 6-time NBA champion Michael Jordan celebrating his 60th birthday on Friday by making a $10 million donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's the largest donation the organization's received from an individual in its 43-year history. The nonprofit helps fulfill the wishes of children with a critical illness ages 2.5 to 18.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn. I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Woody Anderson Ford. In Tennessee Valley, there's nothing better than Woody Anderson Ford. You could be out there running a Mustang just like the ones I'll be running at Daytona this weekend. All right, it's not exactly like that, but they're pretty close to them. I bet you can drive one right off the line, go over there and compete, probably qualify tonight for the Daytona 500, maybe not. But Woody Anderson Ford, their service department is second to none. I mean, they just do a tremendous job down there. The body shop is great as well. If you happen to get in a wreck, their body shop will get you back going as quick as possible. And the garage looks like a NASCAR garage. When you walk around that garage, you see how much pride they take in their garage, and then you know that they're going to take that kind of pride in fixing your rig. By the way, speaking of NASCAR, Bobby White, the GM, did you know he used to run a legendary Huntsville Speedway back in the day? He's a gearhead himself as well. All right, speaking of gearheads, let's head down to Daytona. I've been harassing this guy for days, for weeks really, and to get him. And it's media day down there, and he's taken a few minutes to join us here on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. He is Jordan Bianchi, covering motorsports for The Athletic. Jordan, welcome back to the show. I appreciate you taking a few minutes, even though I'm harassing you.
Never harassed me, and I feel bad. I had a kind of audible a little bit, just a busy day down in Daytona, but always a pleasure to talk a little NASCAR with you.
Well, this was the original time I wanted anyway, so it worked out good. How's old Denny Hamlin doing? You doing a story on it? Denny Hamlin, he announced his retirement at the end of this season or something? What's going on with that?
Denny's not retiring, but he's a free agent at the end of the year, or at least his contract is up. He's expected to re-sign with Joe Gibbs Racing. I think you're going to see Denny race for at least a few more years. He's still really good. I think he's one of the favorites to win Sunday's race.
Why wouldn't he just jump into his own team? Why wouldn't he just be teammates now with with Bubba and those guys and just run that? I mean, that seems like that would be his last stop, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, and it may be at some point, but he's in a really good situation at Joe Gibbs Racing, and I think, it's fair to say while his 2311 racing team has made tremendous strides in 2 years, they are not Joe Gibbs Racing, and Joe Gibbs Racing is an elite organization. And I will say this, I don't know the exact numbers, obviously, but I do know that Joe Gibbs Racing pays Denny a pretty good salary. I don't know if 2311, which is still a new team, can afford Denny Hamlin, to be honest with you.
Well, the 23 part of 2311, Michael Jordan, he's dropping $10 million on the Make-A-Wish Foundation Friday for his 60th birthday. I don't know if you heard that, but you guys are down there. I'm sure Jordan will be around there at some particular point in time, but, that's a story. A $10 million donation, the biggest donation ever received by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Friday will be Michael Jordan's 60th birthday, and he's giving them $10 million.
That's good for him. I mean, that's a great donation.
Cool.
It's nice to see him give back. And I don't know if he's going to be here this weekend. I would be surprised if he's not. He usually comes down here. He's enjoyed it. He usually has a couple of RVs or motorhomes he puts on the backstretch, and he's got a great seat. So would expect him to be down here. And his other driver, Bubba Wallace, is finished second in this race a year ago. He is another driver I think has got a really good chance to win Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see if MJ's here, and he may be celebrating in victory lane.
Yeah, if he does, this is the only sport where you got a guy that can be racing against a car that he owns, and we saw them bumping and grinding with each other, Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace last week or 2 weeks ago at the when they raced on the go-kart track there in Los Angeles. But we saw them banging against each other. It would be interesting to see. I always wondered, and I don't know if you're old enough to. Do you go back to when Dale passed away in 2001?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I always wondered if Dell at some point in time was going to jump into a DEI car. Do you think he would have finished with Childress? Or I wonder if he could turn back the clock. I mean, he was already 49 years old at the time of his death. I wonder if he might have ran a DEI car at all, or if that was going to be it.
It's good. It's been speculated before. It's hard to say. He was really sent at RCR. It seemed like he wanted to end his career there, and he wanted a little bit of separation. That was RCR was his home. I think because the two teams were so interlinked, I don't know if he would have gone over there. And I honestly, you've heard people say, like, how much longer was he going to race? I mean, he was still 49, he said, but that's certainly towards the end of his career. And I think if you look at it, the way DEI was set up, it was probably best for him to continue kind of being on the outside than rather driving for his own team.
Guys, now, I mean, back then, I think when he was Rookie of the Year, I may be making this up, I think Dale Earnhardt was like 32 years old when he was Rookie of the Year. I mean, back then, they didn't start like they do now, at 18, 19, 20, 22 years old. So that's why we see guys retiring now in their early 40s. And Kevin Harvick, I mean, I can't even get over it, because I remember that moment he climbed into that 29 car for the second race of the season in 2001 after Dale passed, and was very, very competitive, right? I think he won at Atlanta a couple of weeks later, something like that. Third start, and now he's the grizzled veteran that's retiring, and he's beginning his final run, and I think he'll be still competitive this year in making his his final season before he goes into the booth where he will be outstanding.
I think I agree with a lot what you said there. Is one, Kevin makes me feel old. He's 48, but I've really been around kind of the entirety of his career. Still very competitive. Won 2 races a year ago. Had a fast car in the playoffs. Probably should have done more, but completely, out of his control of what happened. It was circumstances, nothing he could have done. And this year it's going to be interesting to see how he balances being this his final year and everything else. Because if you look at recent history, guys in their final seasons more often than not struggle. Even guys who did win races like a Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart had a lot of bumps in the road and had more downs than ups. So it's not easy to balance everything, but Kevin is well positioned to have a good final season. And to your last point about him being in the broadcast booth next year on Fox Sports, I think he's going to be tremendous. He already is a tremendous broadcaster, and he steps in and fills in, in select races and stuff. He is going to be a huge asset next year. Insightful, opinionated, smart. I think he's really going to enhance that broadcast overall.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a tremendous job. And I would imagine that 4, that becomes a topic all season long, is who jumps into the 4. Do you have some early favorites in your mind? I mean, because that's the premier car on that team, it would seem like.
It's funny you asked that, because I actually asked Kevin Harvick that question as we were texting a little bit ago, and Kevin kind of sidestepped it and just said it's not my decision. Obviously, it's not his team, but you would think he'd have some input, or at least could carry some sway. He's not having a voice in this. He's going to take on a back seat. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what direction Stewart-Haas Racing goes. It is a plum opportunity with a top team where you know you can win races and contend for a championship. And if you look at it right now, there aren't a ton of great drivers out there that are in contract years. A lot of them have already re-signed over the last year. Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, William Byron, Christopher Bell. All of these guys have re-signed. Kyle Larson, where had they been available, you would say, oh, SHR might go after them. They'd be good fits over there, but that's not the case right now. You're looking at the landscape. The one name that is someone to keep an eye on is Ross Chastain. His contract is up with Trackhouse. Ross finished runner-up in the championship last year, but he is very comfortable at Trackhouse. Trackhouse loves him. It's a perfect fit for driver and team. He's very appreciative of the opportunity they gave him. So I'm kind of skeptical of whether or not Ross is actually truly available or not, and I think he's going to end up ultimately re-signing with Trackhouse. Then after that, it gets really interesting because there's just not a lot of guys that are available. How they go about filling that ride for 2024 is going to be one of the most often discussed storylines this year to follow.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Jordan Bianchi with us here talking about the start of the NASCAR season, which will get going at Daytona really tonight with pole qualifying, right? So we qualify the pole tonight. Are the Xfinity guys running tonight too? Are they qualifying for their deal or no?
No, but just the Cup boys tonight.
Just the Cup boys tonight. Then we get our duels tomorrow. So we'll get the twin 150s, but they're tomorrow night, right, when we'll get those. How many cars are in danger? I mean, it was always better when you had to race your way into the deal. Is this just about positioning, or is there going to be a few guys that have to still race their way into the show?
This is real stakes this year, which is a little bit different because there are 6 drivers competing for 4 spots, and additionally, there's some big names. Like Jimmy Johnson is not locked into the Daytona 500. Either is Travis Pastrana. They can lock themselves in tonight by being fastest among those 6, but there's no guarantee. So there's a real possibility that some decent drivers and some notable teams end up going home. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight, and then more so what happens tomorrow night. Like a Travis Pastrana, for example, he has never driven in a Cup race before. He's made Xfinity starts, but those were 7-8 years ago. He's never driven this version of the car. His first laps in this car are literally going to be in qualifying tonight. How does he manage the draft tomorrow? How does he manage all of the craziness that goes along with super speedway racing? It's going to be fascinating to watch, and I think the duels tomorrow night are going to be some of the most interesting and intense qualifying races we've seen in recent years.
A lot of 75th anniversary stuff that's going to be going on. I guess they're going to name the 75 greatest drivers. That's going to be hard. I mean, you're going to get kind of thin, I think, when you get down past maybe 50. I mean, we're going to get some guys.
Look at the Athletic has done a project like that over the last few weeks, and we ranked top 75 Cup Series drivers, not just NASCAR, which is all-encompassing. It's interesting to see which names make that list because, like you said, it all of a sudden you're looking at it going, okay, yeah, I guess this guy is one of the top 75 of all time.
Yeah, 75 is pretty deep a field. Are they doing anything? Is NASCAR doing anything like the top 75 moments in the history of NASCAR? Because, we're in it's also the 25th anniversary of 1998, which is right up there. I'm sitting there. We talked about it in the first hour. I go vacillate back and forth because that was a unbelievable moment, but I'm an Earnhardt fan. So it was. I'm trying to get that. Then, of course, the following, Dale Jr. winning the Pepsi 400, the Firecracker, whatever it was called that year. That was an incredible moment. But I go to 1988, the last 100 miles of Bobby and Davey, door handle to door handle, was maybe the greatest 100 miles ever. I mean, it was just amazing, the last 20 minutes of that race. So I wonder if they're going to do like greatest moments and where any of those would end up.
I would think, I don't want to speak for NASCAR, I would think they would do something of that nature. I mean, they're making a very it's a big deal, right? It's the 75th anniversary.
Yeah.
So you're going to see something like that, and I'm not the toot our own horn or anything, but you will definitely see something very similar to what you mentioned on the Athletic over the coming months, because it's a thing. And you go back to '88, it's a great race. Father-son finished 1-2 in the Daytona 500. Made kind of all the more poignant by the fact that just a few months later, Bobby's career was effectively, it was ended because he had a horrible crash at Pocono and never raced again. So it's one of those moments that you look at, and you mentioned the 1998 Daytona 500. Dale's win was arguably one of the most memorable moments. I don't want to say the most, but it's definitely on the short list of memories, especially how they celebrate too. Him coming out pit road and all the teams coming out and congratulating him, and just all of that, what that meant. And then obviously you mentioned Dale's win in 2000, Dale Jr.'s win in 2001, returning to Daytona a month after his father was killed, and him winning and how he won, and that really felt very cathartic for people that were here in the industry, because it was tough. And so there's a lot of, you look at NASCAR's history and how you put together a list of where everything ranked. And I know this isn't a personally moment, but like 2011 with Tony Stewart winning the championship at Homestead, and really that whole playoff, and him, winning 5 of 10 races and calling out Carl Edwards and this cocky swagger he had and how he won it was just pretty special.
Yeah, no, that was great as well. And I'll go back to when I was a kid, the first flag the flag coverage, what was it, 76, 77, 79. Something like that, 79, the first flag the flag coverage, the fight on the backstretch, what went on, that Petty winning that race and how that all happened, that I'm sure I think it would have to be top 5. I would think whenever it comes to that point, that would have to probably be a top 5 moment.
You would think so, because people tell you, and they're adamant, like the Northeast at that time it had a blizzard, right? And everybody was landlocked at home, and they couldn't. There was no one thing on TV, right? You only had like 4 channels at the time, and here was this race, flag to flag for the first time, and you've got the Allison brothers and Cale Yarborough fighting in turn 3 because they just lost the Daytona 500, and then Richard Petty winning, and then there was like this. What is this? I need to watch this. People tell you, well, it really was the catalyst that launched NASCAR from just a southeastern-based sport into the national conscience.
Yeah, no, that would definitely have to be one of those moments. I was a little disappointed. I thought I was kind of hopeful that maybe the Childress Racing, number 3 car of Austin Dillon, 25th anniversary. I mean, would it have been the worst thing in the world to see if Good Wrench would throw a couple of dollars in and run that thing black and just run that as a Good Wrench car? I mean, come on, or a GM Plus or whatever.
I wouldn't. I don't say that. Let me just say, I don't know of anything that's actually happening, but I will say this: there's opportunities throughout the year to do this. There's a throwback weekend, for example. I wouldn't put it past that to happen. I know for their main sponsors they have on the car this year, it's like you have to have the Daytona 500, right? Because it's such the visibility and everything. So there's throwback weekend at Darlington coming up. There's the different opportunities. I just wouldn't say never, because I know how RCR likes to operate. They've done something similar in the past, with different schemes that kind of pay homage to moments of the past. So it wouldn't shock me.
Depending on who you listen to, the cars were either great with the changes last year or they were dump trucks. So what will we notice? I mean, I know there's subtle changes that go on, but what might we notice that are different this year coming off of a full year with this new car?
Cars were great on the intermediate tracks last year. Fantastic. Some of the best racing you've ever seen a mile and a half racetrack. Struggled a lot on short tracks and road courses. This year, NASCAR's tried a lot of different things. The expectation is that they're going to have a new rules package they're going to unveil for short tracks and road courses, and it's supposed to be low downforce and helping, basically putting the drivers really in more control of the car, make the cars harder to handle. If that is the case, then great, because what they hit on last year with intermediate tracks was a home run, and if they can just tweak it on the short tracks a little bit, that will go a long way.
Is Kyle Busch a title contender? You're running the 8 car now for Childress. Is he in the mix, or is this going to be like Brad Keselowski when he moved and was a non-factor?
Somewhere in between, and a lot of that is to do, there's 2 factors. One, we don't know what version of RCR we're going to get. A year ago, they had some of the fastest race cars on the racetrack. Tyler Reddick won 3 times, could have won 5-6 races had it not been some sort of wonky circumstances. They had consistently fast race cars. However, historically, they have had a hard time year to year being fast. And so one year they're good, next year they're so-so. If they are just so-so this year, it's going to be really hard for Kyle. It's not anything he can do. If the cars are fast, I think the expectation is he's going to win 2 or 3 races and be a player. Don't think I would put him as a title contender. I'd probably put him in that next tier down, just because new team, new situation, and a lot of unknown. We'll see what happens, but it's a good fit with an opportunity with a lot of upside.
I don't want you to scoop yourself if you're doing this for the Athletic later in the week, but what? Give me your guy. Who wins this year? Give me a chalky pick, and then give me a pick. This is the one,
Sure.
Blaney. You know what I mean, or something like that. That's somebody that hasn't won. But give me your chalky pick, and then who you might think could break through.
Chalky pick is Kyle Larson, just because he's Kyle Larson, won 10 races 2 years ago, generational talent. Somewhat non-chalky pick, but I want to mention is Christopher Bell. Last year he won 3 races, burst out onto his own. Really a tremendous talent, a young driver who people are just getting to know. Almost won the championship a year ago. I think he's going to have a monster year where people really start to pay attention to him. Non-kind of out there pick, I'll throw William Byron in that mix, just because we're waiting for William to kind of break out and have a big year. He had kind of some moments last year where it looked like he was on the verge of doing that. Drives for Hendrick Motorsports, which builds fast race cars every week. He's come really close to kind of getting into that championship, and I think this year could be the opportunity for him to do it.
Can the 84 be competitive this weekend?
It's super speedway, so Jimmy knows how to run into the draft, knows how to manage it. This is anybody's game, right, to some extent, and you can run well here if you can stay out of trouble. Him leading with a top 10 finish wouldn't shock me.
Can I get an amen on the 43 of Eric Jones' Guns N' Roses car as being the sweetest looking car at Daytona this weekend?
That's pretty
nice
amazing. As a Guns N' Roses fan, I was like, that's BA right there.
That is really BA. I mean, that is beautiful stuff. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. Hopefully I can use you as much as I possibly can.
Absolutely.
NASCAR is a thing for us. Of course, here in Alabama, we miss our Alabama gang, and but still a lot of big Alabama or a lot of big NASCAR fans down here. So we'll look forward to continuing the conversation.
Look forward to it, my friend, and I will probably talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, Jordan Bianchi. Let's see if we can't get him Monday to recap the thing. Hey, Grizz, have you seen the Guns N' Roses car? It is
No, I haven't, but I'll look it up.
Sweet. I mean, it's just all black. Got the Guns N' Roses on the rear quarter, and it's got some roses on the side. I mean...
Oh, yeah, that looks nice. I like it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that is nice.
That is really nice.
That is really sweet. All right. I'll tell you what. It's time for the second episode of Bubby's Diner Quiz Grizz. You can win a gift certificate to Bubby's Diner if you can beat Grizz in sports trivia. It's Super Bowl sports trivia coming off of the Super Bowl. Grizz is 0-1. He's looking to get back to 500 on this deal. I'll tell you what. Beat caller. It's NASCAR, right? And what greater number is there in NASCAR than 3? Be caller number 3 right now. 256-576-4977. Hold those 3s up high. 256-576-4977. Show off your big brain. Do sports trivia against Grizz. It's Bubby's Diner Quiz Grizz next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove in Huntsville or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Who knows comfort? Well, comfort is our middle name. If your home isn't as comfortable as you want it to be, we can fix that. We service all makes and brands of heating and cooling systems, even if we didn't install them. So give us a call. Environmental Comfort Systems. Visit our website at envcomfort.com. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems. That's envcomfort.com.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your chance to win a Bubby's Diner gift card if you can beat the Grizz. And now, it's time for Quiz Grizz with your host, Thom Abraham.
All right, it's time now for Quiz Grizz, brought to you by Bubby's Diner. If you can beat Grizz in these Super Bowl questions, you will score a $25 gift certificate to Bubby's Diner. Grizz is 0-1 so far on Quiz Grizz. The question, we should maybe put an over-under on how long Quiz Grizz will run for, you know, and whether or not he's tanking just to get people to go to Bubby's. Hopefully he's not, because remember, if he wins, it carries over. So then next week would be worth $50, and the week after that would be worth $75. If he could get on a little bit of a roll here. I just don't know if he could get on any kind of a roll to make it happen. So our contestant today is the one and only Grumpy. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good.
So this wouldn't be your forte, I wouldn't think, Super Bowl history, but maybe you've been around longer than Grizz, so you might know some of these older questions that he does not know. You know what I mean? But it's multiple choice, and I'm going to flip the magic pen now. Those of you that are watching, wait a minute, I got to put your names on the sheet here so I know who is going first. But those of you that are watching would know who is which way we go on this. We got Grizz and we got Grump. All right, here we go. We're going to flip the magic pen. and it comes up Grumpy. So Grumpy will be able to go first, and don't blurt out the answer. If you get it wrong, you'll hear the multiple choice first. Make sure you hear all the choices first. And then if you get it wrong, your opponent will have a chance to steal the question and vice versa. The first one to spell the word that we're trying to spell today will go ahead and win this thing. And we're going with po' boy. Po' boy. They got catfish po' boy. They got a shrimp po' boy. They got a chicken po' boy. All right? So they got po' boys down there at Bubby's. So we're trying to spell the word po' boy, which is P-O-B-O-Y. For those of you that can't spell po' boy. All right. Are you ready, Grumpy?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Who was the MVP of the first Super Bowl? Was it Joe Namath, Len Dawson, Johnny Unitas, or Bart Starr?
Bart Starr.
Bart Starr. He says Bart Starr.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so Grumpy picks up the early P in po' boy. All right, Grizz.
Let's do it.
What Dallas Cowboy had his helmet stolen at the 1994 Super Bowl? Was it Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Larry Brown, or Troy Aikman had their helmet stolen at the 1994 Super Bowl?
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith. Wow, we are on to yes. Man, we're off to. See, I told you it would be better than last week. We're off to a good start. Nobody's cheating, right? You guys aren't using the World Wide Web.
I don't have anything in front of me but the stream.
Okay,
I'm in the woods.
Great. All right, Grumpy. What was the first wild card team, or who was the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl? Was it the Bears, Raiders, Jets, or Redskins?
Give them to me one more time.
The Bears, Raiders, Jets, or Redskins, first wild card team to win the Super Bowl?
Bears.
Bears is not correct. All right, Grizz, a chance for the steal. Who was the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl? Was it the Raiders, the Jets, or the Redskins?
The Raiders.
The Raiders, yes. The Raiders did it in 1980. They actually beat the Browns, Red Right 88, who were the number one seed that year, and then they went on to beat Philadelphia 27-10 in Super Bowl 15, 1981. MVP was Jim Plunkett. He passed for 3 touchdowns, including an 80-yarder to wide receiver to running back Kenny King. All right, so Grizz, that was a steal. So you now have the P and the O. So Grizz, this is your question. All right, Grizz, who holds the record for the most rushing yards in a single Super Bowl? Is it Timmy Smith, Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, or Emmitt Smith?
Marcus Allen.
You blew it!
No, it is not Marcus Allen. All right, now a chance for a steal for Grumpy. Grumpy, who holds the record for the most rushing yards in a single Super Bowl? Is it Timmy Smith, Franco Harris, or Emmitt Smith?
Timmy Smith.
Timmy Smith.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a good pull by you. Do you remember that Super Bowl? Timmy Smith.
I remember that trivia from bar trivia that used to come on the screen at the bars.
He was a nobody. He rushed for a Super Bowl record 204 yards, led the Redskins to victory, and broke the previous mark of 191 yards by Marcus Allen. He scored twice on runs of 58 yards and 4 yards in that Super Bowl. Never to be heard from again. I mean, it's just crazy. All right, so that was Grumpy's steal. So both of you have the P and the O, and now it's Grumpy's question so he can get the first one to get the B. All right, Grumpy, what player holds the record for the most career fumbles in a Super Bowl? Career fumbles, not in one game, career fumbles in a Super Bowl. Thurman Thomas, Roger Staubach, Jim Kelly, or Terry Bradshaw?
Definitely Roger Staubach.
Wow. Wow. 5 fumbles for Roger Staubach in 4 Super Bowl appearances. Again, you must have been playing Super Bowl trivia with that or what?
No, I mean, I remember people talking about that was a weakness for him, like blowing it.
Yeah.
I mean, almost like he was the Romo of his day.
No doubt about it. There was no doubt. He would. Well, yeah, but he won. I mean, he did win a couple of Super Bowls, but other than that, yeah, he definitely had some of those. Yeah. All right, Grizz.
Let's do it.
What performer had the now infamous costume malfunction during the halftime of Super Bowl 38? Was it Madonna, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, or Jennifer Lopez?
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. Yeah,
He may be the smartest person that I've ever.
I remember that one. I was young.
Yeah, you were enjoying that. You probably put that on super slow mo, didn't you? Yeah.
No, JT, man.
That was it. Yeah. Nibble. He just wants to say nibble. All right. Both of you have the P and the O and the B. You both have missed a question, so we won't have to go to overtime. All right, Grumpy looking to get the second O here. All right, Grumpy, who is the only player from a losing team to be awarded the Super Bowl MVP? Was it Von Miller, Tom Brady, Chuck Howley, or Randy White?
Why are you picking the ones that I know?
I'm just picking
Howley.
questions. It's the next question that is up.
Howley.
Howley. Now, I wonder, did they? Yes! How did you both know Chuck Howley? Should have been
that one.
Jalen Hurts. It should have been. So you guys both knew that?
Yeah, I think they said that on ESPN this week.
Well, that's good. You're paying attention. I mean, that's a good job by you.
Yes.
All right, Grizz, for your
And
second
by the way,
O.
Hurts, I think Hurts should have got the MVP. Go ahead. That's what
I
they were
agree.
talking about this week.
Yeah, he should have been the MVP. There was no doubt about it. All right. Oh, gosh. It's just the next question. It's honestly just the next question. All right, Grumpy, don't shoot the messenger. It's just the next question. All right, Grizz, what quarterback led the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history? I'm not even giving you the choices. Do you want the choices?
Yeah,
You
give me
need
the
the
choice.
choice?
No, give me the choices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know if you need Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Joe Montana, or Bart Starr.
Tom Brady.
You play to win the game.
All right.
I wanted to give it a little suspense, a little drama.
So both guys
A little
now.
sadness.
Both guys have the P, the O, the B, and the O. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, for the win. Grumpy for the win. Here we go. If he gets it wrong, Grizz for the steal. All right, Grumpy. How much were the most expensive tickets to Super Bowl I? How much were the most expensive tickets to Super Bowl I? $96, $12, $48, or $24?
It was like 1967 or something. Run that through
1967. The $96, $12, $48, or $24?
I'm going with the lowest one, $12.
Well, $12.67 would be like what, 50? No, I mean maybe 100, maybe something. Yeah, something like that. Grizz, did you know that one, Grizz?
I was going to say 24. I didn't know that one.
Oh, you would have said
Yeah,
24.
I was gonna
Okay,
say
so you would
24.
have.
I
gotten
didn't know it. I just went with the lowest one because it's 1967.
Yeah, $12. That was the most expensive ticket. That was the most expensive ticket.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, that would be the most expensive.
And the game didn't sell out. $12 was the most expensive ticket, and it was not a sellout.
If you go watch video from that game, you can see like spacing in between the stands.
Oh, it's like 20,000 empty seats.
they show it.
Could you imagine if you were in charge of the ticket office and you could have scooped up 1,000 of those unused tickets and put them in the briefcase?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Because they burned. I'm guaranteeing you, they burned them.
Oh, I bet they
Threw 'em
did.
out in the trash.
I bet they did. Well, it was considered like it was an afterthought. It was like an exhibition game. It's like, okay, the Chiefs have won the AFL, and the Packers won the AFL. They had already, the NFL, they had already announced that there was going to be a merger in 4 years between the two leagues. And it's like, well, let's put these people against each other, and it'll be a blowout. And it was. The first two were just the Packers just blew out the Chiefs and then the Raiders. And then of course, the AFL won the next two.
Yeah, I'll call in tomorrow and talk some baseball. But real quick here,
Yeah.
I took Alabama in the 3-point. No, I took the money line. I didn't take, but to pay more because I think Alabama wins outright. Alabama just beat Auburn in one of the hardest places in the country to win. You know, Auburn had the home court advantage. Everybody keeps talking about Tennessee having the home court advantage. I know Tennessee's better than Auburn, but I think Alabama beats Tennessee tonight outright.
Well, they're favorite. You say they're getting through, or they're laying 3? Yeah, they're laying 3.
Alabama's not favored.
Alabama's not favored tonight?
And that's my point. You get 3 points with Alabama. Check it out.
Wow. That is surprising to me. I thought it would be no worse than a pick'em, or if anything, Alabama would be a small favorite in that game. Part of it might be the fact that Tennessee has been struggling, and so they're expected to have a big bounce back here at some particular point in time. Yeah, 2.5, 3, 2.5, 3 across the board. You can get points with Alabama tonight.
Yeah.
Did you take the money line or the points?
I took the money line for the more money because I think Alabama wins outright.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think that Alabama would be
just
fair.
switched.
No, it opened at 2. It opened at 2.5. It opened at 2.5, and now it's up to 3.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
I thought I had seen it yesterday. It was Alabama. It was flopped. It was flipped. But I guess I had seen it.
No,
it
opened
at or something.
They were plus 2.5 Alabama. You probably just assumed when you saw the 2.5 maybe that they were, that they were the deal. I don't know. All right, let's get a break. So Grizz moves to 0-2 now on the season, but that was a good one. That was a good one, right, Grizz? I mean, you
That happens.
That was a good one. I thought it was a good one.
Back and forth.
All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in. I just finished reading Jimmy Johnson's book, and in Jimmy Johnson's book, he had a very interesting comment regarding the NFL today and how we practice football today. And I saved this portion of the final chapter of the book that I want to share with you. Get your reaction to it next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NCAA Basketball National Championship Futures. Houston, the favorite right now at plus 700. They're the current number 2 in this week's AP Top 25. Current number 1, Alabama, a plus $900 bet to win the whole thing. The Crimson Tide rose 2 spots in the poll this week while Houston stayed put. Previous number 1, Purdue, down to number 3 this week. The Boilermakers, a plus $1,200 bet to win the national title. Number 5, Kansas checks in at plus $1,300. Number 4, UCLA, a plus $1,400 bet. UCLA jumped 3 spots this week in the poll while Kansas rose 4 spots. Texas down 1 spot to number 6. The Longhorns a plus $2,500 bet.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Looking for something different that's flexible, fulfilling, and pays well? How'd you like to get paid to work out? Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification.
There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. And once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you'll get a job. Trainers can make as much as $200 an hour. Yes, I said $200 an hour. And with ISSA, you can be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online.
Pursue your passion in specializations like yoga, nutrition, or strength training. Live life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want. Start your own business, work at a gym, or make health and fitness your side hustle. Whatever works for you. Just don't wait.
Get started today and be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 right now to get started for free. Text the word BENCH to 323232. Text BENCH to 323232 2022.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on at advancedlifeclinic.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. Segment of the show brought to you by Valley Equipment. Valley Equipment, locally owned. They are a family equipment rental business, and they serve the entire Tennessee Valley. They can deliver to you as well for a small fee if you need that. If you're a contractor, you need to think about long-term rentals. If you are a homeowner, you need to think about what Valley Equipment can do for you so you can get your job done like a pro. It's Valley Equipment Rental. Ross Roberts and his team ready to do a tremendous job for you. And again, let me emphasize, locally owned. One of the things that Valley Equipment does is they allow us to bring you Huntsville High's run in the state tournament, and they are playing in just a few moments. So I'm going to hold my Jimmy Johnson story about practice and contact, and it's very fascinating, but we'll save that for tomorrow. We're going to get out of here and clear the way for Steve and Scott, who are coming up in just a few minutes now with the Huntsville High game into regionals of the state tournament. So we're excited for them. See if the Panthers can keep this thing going.
Be like
and then
Drew,
tomorrow we'll have the Bucks. What'd you say, Grizz?
Said I'll be like Drew one time. Go Panthers.
Well, go Panthers. We want to say go Panthers right now. I mean, they're not playing another Valley team, so we'll say go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
Hope they keep it going. That's coming up next. I'm Thom Abraham. We'll do this all over again tomorrow. For Grizz, this is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Champy's Famous Fried Chicken started in Chattanooga, but the history of the fried chicken, hand-rolled Mississippi Delta tamales, and comfort food sides started decades before. Champy's Famous Fried Chicken is made from an old family recipe from